Welcome back to Revealing the Hidden, the second series of the topic that we discussed last week on pornography. So, this evening we would be pondering on real incidents wherein pornography has affected us in some way or other. So, Renit, do you have anything to start with?
Yes, what I believe pornography right now has impacted from the older generation or from the times has way more increased.
Yes.
There are few reasons why I feel that it has affected us. One, it's see when I talk, I would love to talk from my generation point of view, where in singles or youngsters who are coming up from school to colleges, it's very easy to get addicted to it. One of the reasons why it is because sometimes what happens is majority of the youngsters, those who are into addiction, are some people who have kind of had sex during their relationship, or people who tend to see semi-nudity and things that are related to intimacy, and then they have an urge or a curiosity of what it is. So what happens around is, you as an individual, when you are single, when you understand that there is an urge or a curiosity happening inside of you, you need to understand that is not coming from a good point of view.
Correct.
Sometimes curiosity might be good, but what type of a curiosity it is, we need to understand. So what I believe is, the incident that I would like to force upon is, when being a single, you tend to, because of the screening that is happening around, you tend to not fall, the doors is just open to watch pornography. So I believe somewhere down the line that particular thing needs to be changed. This is what's your understanding
So,
now?
taking your point on curiosity, as the old age story goes, curiosity killed the cat. And I guess with the pandemic and even with the time that youngsters have today, it's very rare to see youngsters or singles who are very goal oriented or who want to carve a niche in their lives. So with this excess time that they have, and being at home and having nothing to do, instead of channelizing it in an approach that they could have, or maybe studying some coding or on online courses, because of peer pressure, because of being single, or because of being lonely, or maybe because, again, pandemic has also broken a lot of relationships, because people don't get to meet each other.
True.
So in all these circumstances, people do get in a way attracted to watching pornography. So one we need to understand, as we had discussed I guess also in the previous episode, is to make sure that we have our times occupied, and chart out a way wherein we keep ourselves from being distracted by such kind of futile manners. The second aspect which I feel that a youngster can do is understand that they need to have a vision for what they lead to. This is just like a 5-minute or a 10-minute gratification sort of a thing, but then later on it's closed, done and dusted. So when we understand that this is not reality, this is not what life is about. So marriage is, and being married is what I feel helps you to keep this carvings at bay, but to enjoy that intimacy that you have with your loved ones in the true sense.
So what do you mean is, if being a youngster who has such kind of an urge due to the situational or to some kind of personal curiosity, if they come to, so they need to build a dam for them till the marriage?
So this is my take on it, and the question that you actually asked is pretty apt, and it is also a question that is running through the mind of many youngsters today, those who are in a relationship and those who aren't. those who have already been in a relationship and are suffering without one. So yes, that question is pretty valid. If you're asking me, I would have to again depend on my belief system, where I believe that in a marriage, it's not just about one person but two, and it's more of a give and take policy, because you need to invest in a marriage, and it's not just a fling, or it's not a video that you could just watch and throw it off. And I believe that we need to also respect the other partner, our spouse, and in times of confusion, or in times of not knowing what needs to be done because you've already been hooked on to pornography, it would be good to discuss, or open up your mind to your spouse, so she also has an understanding of the same wavelength, or the kind of wavelength you already are in. So I believe the reasons why youngsters watch pornography, or why people in marriage watch pornography, has various or different reasons catering to each one's need.
Yeah.
What do you think about it? What is your understanding on this?
So what I believe is, certain times the reason why you have to build a dam is sometimes you are a person who is thinking a lot, maybe.
Okay.
So the origin is only wrong. To think a lot about something, you are pressurizing yourself. And pressurizing about something that is very sensitive, as of that you're putting towards the marriage case, you need to think twice before getting into that covenant relationship.
Yeah.
So when I, as a youngster, when I think, or if someone comes up to me and asks, brother, or now I have a strong urge of that, I tell him, try to do things as we said in the earlier, get out of it.
Yeah.
Because then you go into a relationship or a marriage just because of this.
Correct.
And other areas would get then defected. So when I see you and other people who have got married, their intentions of marriage is not to have a end to their physical desire. It's where two families come together, and the reason is to build up a family, to grow. Those are the key things that are there.
Yeah.
So, and from the other point of view, what we talked about singles, to a point where about relationships. A lot of people, I was once in a relationship, to be very honest. A lot of other people are also in relationship.
Right.
So other people have the reasons of going into a relationship different. So some people who are in relationship, when they are into a relationship and they watch pornography or their influence, sometimes they try to prove themselves to the partner.
Right.
Or they are proving themselves, in which comes out of the inferiority complex that they have for them.
Yes.
So being into a relationship and watching, being upon it, it's like giving a mad guy a gun.
Okay.
It's like you don't know when that will, where it will hit, because it's already a danger place, a danger situation, and you're giving something that is lethal. So
Not licensed.
Yeah, true. Very true. That's very genuine of your answer. So, but when we understand that as singles, as we talked about singles who have an addiction, and when you get into a relationship, now the relationship, you find every other guy into a relationship.
Yeah.
And the basic of relationship is somewhat kind of like, first you don't hold hands, and then you start kissing, and then you automatically end up in bed, and then the relationship ends. So porn has somewhere down the line used their idea of business in even impacting the smallest relationship, even if that's in a village. What's your take on it?
So yes, I do agree with whatever you have said, but also I want to shed light on another aspect which I feel is also a major cause for people to get addicted. One is always one reason I would say would be the scope of proving to others that they are better.
Yeah.
Okay, and even though we know that sexual education or sex education is in schools and colleges, today's youngsters are exposed to the internet even before you start teaching sex ed in school. So when you don't have the correct curriculum, or you don't have the correct education given at the right age, at the right time, people tend to fall into this for answers.
Yeah.
And these are not the real sort of answers that you will get when you watch pornography. So understanding what is right intimacy, what is not right, how to build up a relationship, whether it's a boyfriend or girlfriend, whether it is in a father and son, or what in in any form, it's important to know that pornography, in however big that industry would be, has in some way manipulated the thoughts of youngsters and people, in giving them a cushioned platform of wrongdoings.
Yeah. So in that, can I ask you another question that I feel would bring an impact is, if a so-called girl or a boy has a partner who is in a relationship for a couple of years.
Right.
See, no one says out loud, they might say I'm a smoker, but they will never say I'm a porn addict.
Yeah.
So when you understand that your so-called partner is a porn addict, and you understand by the way they have intimacy, and if you are not liking it, and if you withdrew from that relationship, if they want to withdraw from that, or how should I withdraw? What would you say in that particular area?
So I get that question, and from where it's coming. As I said before, I believe that in every relationship there should be respect and love, and pornography gives a different picture altogether, and it's not the healthier answer to building a relationship. So the first and foremost thing is, if you don't like something, you voice it out with your partner, or you tell him or her that I am going through this, or I'm not happy with this, or can we work out on this? And if it is something that is like a obsessive issue, or something that cannot be controlled, it would be good to meet up someone who is specialized in this sphere of helping people come out from this. The reason I said so is because pornography is not an answer to healthy marriages, and into healthy relationships. It's just the wrong depiction of what is to happen between a man and a woman. What basically needs to happen between a man and a woman, as we discussed last time, is more on taking care of each other, sharing it out, companionship, supporting each other, lending a helping hand, helping each other climb the same ladder. So a relationship doesn't always have to be about sex. It doesn't always have to be about a particular reason. It's a bunch of healthy things that brings in a relationship. But overall, that being said, there are issues, or there are situations where I know of people who watch pornography even while they're being intimate with each other, and also a good number of it also in marriages, just in order, because many people think, or have that kind of a fantasy or role play or whatever, so they log on to that. So again, the reason, as we're discussing, for people to fall into watching pornography is because of its easy access. If you tie down a bit, or there are restrictions into watching, making sure the children don't get to watch it, bringing the right approach to a healthier relationship. So I guess if you want to keep your relationship healthy, do not depend on pornography, do not watch pornography, because that is the wrong answer to what you are desiring in your spouse. So do you have any final words on this topic?
So when we end it, it's like a great, I really appreciate your initiative of taking this topic. I hope and I know that this has impacted a circle of people in different age group and different sectors. So when I talk about pornography towards the end, as you have taken up this topic, I would really want to appreciate your initiative of taking up this topic, because irrespective of the circle, gender and age group, people are affected with it.
True.
In internet, you will find a lot of content.
Correct.
But genuinity of the content is very different. So what I believe when I talk about pornography, or the last words that I would like to tell any viewer, anyone who is listening to us, is try the best resort to get out of it.
Yeah.
If you have a heart surgery or any kind of thing that is physical, you'll find the best doctor to get out of it, because you know it will kill you someday. But for this, we don't think, oh, what will it do? But intentionally, sometimes this creates a motion for a lot of things to accumulate.
Yeah.
And it's like, you know, there is a dirt in your house, or there is a certain area of your house that is messed up, and you just not tell your maid to clean that area. You just tell her, leave it, that's the most beautiful place. So don't accept dirt. That's a key thing.
Very much.
Because when you know you are wrong and still you be in it, that lessens down your growth. Even you might be doing job, you cannot focus in your job.
Yeah.
You might be studying, you cannot focus in your studies. You might be a fitness trainer or someone of that, you cannot focus in that. Any circle, because this happens to be a very dangerous area. If not keenly noticed, it would destroy it really bad. So towards the end, I would like to just, as from the spiritual side, as I work as a pastor in a church, I would like to say a few words of prayer before we end.
Carry on.
Jesus, we pray for everyone, those who are watching, those who are in the bondage of pornography, those who cannot come out of it. You take care of them. Thank you, Jesus. Amen.
So thank you so much for watching this episode on pornography. I hope this has been of help. So until we come back once again with newer topics, stay tuned. God bless.